How was your day? What have you been up to?
Cooking mostly, but yeah, interested. That's why I was very interested to join this session because my husband's on a low carb diet, so it's good
Oh, okay, nice.
actually turned up because I'm like trying to find things to cook
That
for him.
been going with him.
It's been okay. He just started it about a week ago, so
Okay.
it's a bit difficult to kind of find things to make.
Yeah, that's so true. But I think that's what I also want to talk about today. I know everybody wants to live and be healthy, but over here, like today, I just want to talk about how we can achieve that together and how easy it is also in some ways. So, what do you feel like you want to gain out of this webinar? Like, what do you think you want me to specifically talk about in order for you to benefit from this?
Basically, like, because you see a lot of like the low carb recipes and stuff on the web, a
Yeah.
lot of the ingredients are kind of not available in Sri Lanka, or if they are, they're like super expensive.
Yeah.
Um, like for example, like a lot of them talk about quinoa, and even broccoli now in Sri Lanka is like
It's so
triple to four.
expensive, right?
So yeah, so kind of like how we can more like localize it more or
Okay.
less.
So you feel like it would be easier to pick up local ingredients rather than imported ingredients?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah, that's true. Like even I've also noticed recently because Hungry Inda's Kitchen is where we sell meals to people, and even our costs are increasing daily because even like single ingredients now are getting so expensive. So even I've also started to actually try and make my own sauces and everything as well. So in that way, I don't need to rely on like outsourced stuff because everything's so available over here now, but it's difficult to actually purchase it because of the prices.
Yeah.
So yeah, I completely get what you're saying about that we want to switch to more local products than imported products. Hi Gayani, Mokshini, are you guys here?
Hi. Yes.
Hi, how are y'all?
Okay, I'm doing all right. Pretty much having the same kind of issue that was it Shalini was saying?
Yeah, Shalini was mentioning, yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
same here.
Are you
Difficult to.
are your moms? Do you all have children?
I'm a mom of
Yes,
two
I.
fur babies.
Oh, okay, nice. And Gayani?
Yeah, I have a daughter.
Oh, okay, nice. How old is she?
She's 18.
Oh, wow. Okay, okay, nice. So, has school started or is it still online? It started, right?
No, it started.
Okay,
Started.
but is it full or like every day or is it just twice a week?
No, it's every day.
Oh, wow.
But
Okay.
yeah,
How's
it's a
that
bit
been?
sorry.
How is schooling like now? It must have been a while since you went back, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but I've actually been sick these past couple of days, so I'm gonna be having like a tissue in my hand and like drinking some water. So excuse me for those interruptions.
That's fine.
No.
Yeah, I'm actually in the same boat, which is why I can't put the camera on because
Okay.
I look like something like death warmed up on a dish or something. So that's why.
Yeah,
So
no
I'm sorry.
worries. I hope you're doing okay. Just drink up on like lots of water because it's really hot these days as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, Mokshini, why don't you tell me something about yourself?
Okay, so I'm a practicing lawyer. So the issue I have, so is my husband. So the issue I have is preparing meals for us. Uh, with okay, so I'm really bad at meal prepping.
Okay.
Because that my job is so demanding. Every day there's something new that needs to get done, and I'm always constantly putting out fires everywhere.
Okay.
So the attention and time I can spend towards cooking meals is very limited. So but at the same time, my husband and I are now in our early 40s. So we are
Okay.
really conscious of the fact that we need to eat healthier. And it's not like we don't eat healthy, but not healthy enough, I think,
Okay.
because we're piling on the pounds. So we want to be able to eat healthy. So I just would like a little bit of support and some, information on.
Yeah, sure, of course. Meal prep is actually some of the things that I think everybody's been wanting to get on recently as well. Actually, even it was a new thing to me as well because I only learned and like lived the meal prep life only 2 years ago when I was a uni student and I had to work, which is nothing compared to what you're going through and what your lifestyle is like. It actually makes things so much easier. And not only is it just about meal prepping, but it's about just being efficient and being able to like multitask. And we all want to get into the kitchen and maybe just cook something, but we want each day we get into the kitchen, we have different errands to run. We just want to reduce that
Yeah,
time limit that we have in the kitchen.
absolutely.
So it's
Exactly.
not so like what I realize is that yes, meal prep is it's such a good thing to do, but at the end of the day it's about how we want to be more efficient. Like even if we want to cook a meal, we want to cook it in the fastest way possible. And that's why people
Yes.
do meal prepping, because it's just where you cook the food in advance and then you just pop it into a microwave or bake it, or like a quick heating up
Yes.
process, and then you can just have it even on the go. So
Yes.
yeah, meal prep is something I definitely want to talk about as well because it makes life so much easier. So we will be touching on that topic. And if you have any
Awesome.
questions regarding anything else, some of you guys have already given me your questions in the Google form. So I have looked at those questions and I've tried to add those in during the presentation as well. But I will also touch on those specifically at the end of the presentation. So if your questions
Right.
aren't answered, if you have any new questions, feel free to ask me at any time during the presentation. I don't want this to be formal at all. This is my first workshop, and luckily it is a webinar because I'm not feeling well as well. So feel free to jump in whenever and be like super casual.
Thanks, Ajita. That's
Yeah.
helpful. Thanks so much.
um okay, I think we are you guys okay with waiting, or do you guys want to start?
Whenever you're ready.
It's 4:12 already, and I also don't want to make this a long one. I want to make it a quick one because I know everybody has other plans, other weekend plans. So we'll just start in 3 minutes at 4:15. Right now it's 4:12 on my clock. So at 4:15 we'll start.
Talking about the cost of things, I was just appalled at how expensive even fruits are now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true. And I think we can just have a conversation with each other as well. Gayani, Shalini, if you have anything you'd like to say, even to Mokshini and not just to me, we can just have a conversation, because if this was in person, I'm sure we would have all liked the socializing a bit. So
Yes,
yeah, definitely.
any,
Even the fruits and vegetables have gotten so expensive.
yeah.
And do you have like a lot of fruits and vegetables in general?
So I try.
Okay.
I try. That's the operative word. So
I'm sorry, I actually didn't get when I asked you, do you have any kids? I didn't hear your response.
no, I have two fur babies. I have two dogs.
Oh, okay. So you're it's just you and your husband in the house.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, nice. How's that like? Do y'all get bored?
No, Not really. I guess not with work. With that, I'm
Yeah,
not
I mean,
working.
and it must be more convenient because since you're so busy with work, it must be convenient to just having to prep and be prepared just for like 2 servings for both of y'all.
Yeah. Yes. Can
Okay.
refrigerate and then heat it up. Yeah. That's what I tried because, as you said, I try to. It's difficult to spend hours and hours in the kitchen. Um,
Yeah.
and but so I would like some suggestions on lunch and dinner. Um,
Okay. Okay, yeah, I that was actually one of my questions as well. I wanted to just speak about every meal, not just meals,
okay,
not just one particular meal. Um,
great.
Hi, Hesika. Hi, Talia. I hope I'm getting the names right.
Hi. Yes.
Okay. Feel free to switch your camera on if you'd like, because yeah, we can like interact. It can be more like informal, but okay. I think we can start now. Um, Talia, Hesika, if you have any questions, please feel free to. Even Faith, if you have any questions, please feel free to jump in at any point and ask me anything. Let's keep it more interactive and yeah. So let's get started. So the reason why I wanted to have this workshop is because I feel like everybody's trying to live a healthy lifestyle, but we're all finding it difficult to actually achieve it. And so the definition of healthy to everybody is completely different. For some people, if they want to be healthy, they will want to be skinny, and that's healthy to them. Some people don't want to work on their diet, but they just want to go work out a gym, and that's healthy to them. To me, being healthy is about having like a balanced lifestyle and not just focusing on the weighing scale and to lose weight, but it's more to just be balanced. Like I would have a balanced diet lifestyle and I would have a balanced gym lifestyle. And if that doesn't work for me, like if I am sometimes too busy and if you're sometimes too busy, then I'd rather just focus on my diet because that's the only thing we can do. We can do it from home. We can take control of it, and there's so many ways on how we can do it. So our main topic for today is going to be how to eat healthy. This is the majority that we're going to talk about today. Everything's going to be focused on this, and then we will move forward with meal planning, eating efficiently, how to be efficient, some tricks and tips, and I would also give you guys some recipes of mine. And everything is pretty much interconnected. So okay, so let's talk about eating healthy and how to live a healthy lifestyle. You don't have to be healthy to look better. You don't have to be healthy to for other people, anything. You just in order to be healthy, you basically just need to feel good. You need to feel good about what you're eating, where you're eating, what time you're eating at, and your portion quantities. So also where I'm assuming we're all Sri Lankans, we're all from Sri Lanka, so I'm going to be relating most of the topics and most of the ingredients to Sri Lankan food and how we live our Sri Lankan lifestyles. So in Sri Lanka, one of the main problems about all of us is we find it difficult to substitute rice. We all know how much we love our rice. Me, as much as I tried to get off rice when I was in uni, when I came back to Sri Lanka, all my mom kept saying was, "Oh yeah, tomorrow it's lunch rice, but day after tomorrow's lunch also rice." So it's pretty common. We all love our rices, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. But having too much of it is something that should scare us because it does lead to weight gain, especially belly gain, and everybody's trying to cut off those carbs. And one of the main substitutes for rice that I usually go to is couscous, quinoa, and we have recently introduced a product called cauliflower rice. This I'm Cauliflower rice is basically the ideal substitute for rice. It's only 25 calories for 100 grams, but I know some people who don't like the vegetable cauliflower instead itself. So the other options that I would go to is couscous or quinoa. Some people would be like, it's okay, like I can have rice, but I'm going to have brown rice and I'm going to have a huge quantity of that. That, in my experience and the research that I have done, there's no such thing as brown rice will make you gain less fat. That's not true. At the end of the day, it is rice. It just contains maybe more fiber and more nutrition, but it does contain the same amount of carbs. And so if you can change your substitutes, then I would suggest going for couscous or quinoa. I buy couscous from Kiehl's or Cargill's, and it's quite expensive, but I use it for a couple of times. So I use the red color one. I'll try to find a picture and put it on the presentation later. It's a red color box, and I feel like that's the best version of couscous. I see it all around the world as well, and I can use it easily for about 5 servings easily. I can use it. Couscous is really good. I'm not much of a fan of quinoa, but my sister really likes quinoa. It's actually more healthier than couscous. If you try quinoa and you like quinoa, it's probably best to stick to quinoa, because that's more healthier than any of the other options. But if you're a person that can't cut down rice, please don't cut it out. The maximum you can eat. Basically, being healthy is not where you restrict yourself from eating anything. No, don't do that. Don't restrict yourself to the point where you just crash, because what's the point of like spending so much effort and time into actually losing weight but then gaining it all back? I don't think any of us want to feel like that. We actually want to lose weight and just stick to it, and we want to live a healthy lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. It's not a lifestyle, it's a permanent thing where you want to continue doing it. But what you are doing by restricting everything, by cutting down on everything, is you're not trying to live a lifestyle. You're just trying to live like a temporary life and then done. Like I just lose all of my weight and then okay, I'm just going to switch back to my unhealthy lifestyle. But being healthy is a lifestyle, and a lifestyle means you want to practice it for the rest of your life. You want to keep doing it. So I'd suggest, from experience itself, don't restrict yourself from everything. Eat, but eat moderately. Be smart about how you eat. So if you want to have rice. And actually, even if I have spoken to my friends who have recently become personal trainers or are giving like proper diet plans, I've even gone to a dietitian, and they all say have 1 cup of rice a day. You can have rice. There's no need for you to cut down on rice. Just have a moderate amount. So if you can't switch to couscous, quinoa, or cauliflower rice, you can have rice, but have 1 cup a day, because too much of it is really unnecessary as well. Next, cooking techniques. So for me, one of the things that I like, one of the cooking techniques that I like is baking. I love baking because whenever I bake, I do not use any oil. And baking is actually so healthy. There's so much variety you can do with baking. And especially if you're a mom, and how you all told me that you want to enjoy the life, you want to spend less time in the kitchen, the way to go is baking. You just put it all into a baking tray, put it in the oven, time it, put a timer on it, put a temperature on it, go about the house, do whatever errands you want inside the house. Please don't leave the oven on and like run out of the house for your errands. Run whatever errands you want inside the house, and you come back maybe half an hour later, 45 minutes later, your meal is done. So that's a way of being efficient and being smart as well. You just bake it. And what I do is, for my meals, I do not add oil. When I'm baking, I do not add any oil, because you can either pop it into a foil box, or you can put a sheet. I forgot what that's called, but you can put a sheet on it and an oil paper. You put an oil paper on it, and done. You don't need any oil. Just marinate and pop it into the oven, and you're done. Baking is a good hack if you want to switch your meals to low calories as well. Air fryer. I hope many of you all have air fryers. It's a really good investment. You can literally cook anything in that. You can even cook desserts in that, which is amazing. I haven't tried it, but I've seen videos of it, and I feel like it's pretty cool. An air fryer is a really good thing to invest on if you're trying to be healthy. And one of the questions that I got was, I don't remember who asked me this question, but one of you all asked me which oil is the best to use, or which oil do I recommend, or the quantity of oil. So when it comes to the best type of oil you want to use, hands down, even research says that it's extra virgin olive oil, because it's the least processed oil. But even if you go and check on the calories of that, so 1 teaspoon of olive oil is 40 calories, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil is 119 calories to be precise. And that is a lot. If you're a person counting calories, you don't want to be using so many calories. And look at us, Sri Lankan food, how much oil do we put in it? We put so much oil. It's crazy, because at the end of the meal, we don't just feel full by the quantity we've eaten, but we actually tend to feel more full by the amount of oil we've eaten, by the amount of oil that we can see on the dishes, on the curries, on the biryanis that we eat. There's so much oil, right? Which is not necessary at all. So what I do is, in order for me to reduce my oil, I tend to, most of the times, I marinate my food with oil. So if you're gonna, marination is where you put the spices and oil and everything into your meat or vegetables. You can marinate anything, actually. I know a lot of people only usually marinate their meat, but I marinate my vegetables and also keep it, because we want that flavor in vegetables as well. So I marinate my vegetables and chicken with any spices or any ingredients that I want, and I add in a little bit of oil into that. And with this, you can control the amount of oil, because when you marinate, you use your hands or you use a spoon to mix around all the ingredients, so everything goes on to the ingredients that is in the bowl. So if you put even 1 teaspoon of oil and you marinate it properly, the oil is going to be around every ingredient in that bowl. So when you're putting it into a pan and when you're cooking it, you don't need to add any oil, actually, because your ingredients are already coated with oil. So one good tip, if you want to reduce your oil intake, is to marinate your food with oil. That will be a life changer. Or another thing is, I don't think any of us realize that every ingredient has moisture. Moisture is water. And once it touches a hot pan, or once you start to cook it, you will see some sort of steam that cooks with it, or some sort of water that comes into the pan. For example, chicken, especially if you cook chicken, you will see that it releases water. If you cook prawns, it releases so much water. That's how you get a broth out of it, or that's how you get a sort of sauce out of it, because everything releases a sort of moisture. That moisture will help you cook the food. You don't actually need oil. You can also just put, oil is needed basically to stop the food from getting burnt, or to stop the food from getting stuck onto the pan. So if you're cooking with a non-stick pan, you don't need any sort of oil at all. Literally, you don't need any oil. Try it out. Don't be afraid. Just put in your ingredients without any oil and you'll see the difference. You don't need oil. But if you're using a pan that is not non-stick, you what you can do is take a tissue, put some oil into it, and just like put it around the pan, massage it around the pan, and coat the entire pan with that tissue of oil, and then cook your food in it, and that will make a difference as well. Because all you need is to make the food not stick onto the pan. That's why a lot of people use a lot of oil. They don't want it to stick onto the pan. But if you're deep frying, or if you're shallow frying, if you want to make fried chicken or something, please feel free to go and have that extra oil. Put in any amount of oil, that's okay. That's going to be fine. But if you want to reduce your oil intake, either marinate your food with it, or put it into a tissue and just massage the pan with the oil, and make sure the entire pan is coated with your oil, and you're good to go. You can try it out. It works. And also, if you don't want to incorporate any oil in your meals, then switch to a different cooking method. For example, like how I said, baking, you barely need oil. Even for air fryer, you don't even need oil that much. But what I do is, I sometimes have like a spray bottle, and I spray oil with it, and I spray oil just into the ingredients. And yeah, these are the cooking techniques that you can do. You can steam it. You can steam your food. You can boil your food. You can steam your food. Yeah, steaming, boiling, baking, and air frying. And then the quantity of ingredients. So for example, the next thing that this is actually very important if you want to be eating healthy, is the quantity of your ingredients. let's focus on your plating structure. You see on the screen over here, there is 50% vegetables, 25% meat, and 25% fiber. So one of the things that can help you eat more healthy is if you change your plating structure. For example, let's say before I would eat my plate would be consisted of 50% carbs, 30% protein, and 20% vegetables. Okay, 50% carbs. Now, if I want to eat a healthier lifestyle, I'm going to switch my plating structure to 40% veggies, 40% protein, and 20% carbs. That is how it should be. You should switch it up. You should eat less carbs and you should have more protein and vegetables. And this is because proteins contain a hormone called, in everyone's body, there's a hunger hormone called ghrelin. This is actually one thing I hope everybody takes away from this webinar. This is really important. I was really mind blown by it. Every individual, every human being has a hormone called ghrelin. It's basically your hunger hormone. And if you have more protein, and protein can be anything, it just doesn't have to be, it's not only meat, it's not only seafood. Protein can come from chickpeas have protein, dal has protein, a lot of lentils have protein, beans have protein. Every ingredient has protein. Some have high protein, some have low protein. If you switch your diet up to eating more protein, then this hunger hormone called ghrelin gets reduced and you feel hungry less. That's why if your plate consists of more carbs, for example, if you eat 2 cups of rice, how long will it keep you hungry for? How long will it not keep you hungry for? Maximum 2 hours. After 2 hours, you will feel hungry again. However, if you switch your plating structure to 40% vegetables, 40% protein, and 20% carbs, then you will feel less hungry for sure. Proteins and vegetables will keep you full longer than carbs does, because some people, we're just used to having rice, we're used to having breads, we're used to having wraps, but what we don't realize is that that only keeps us full for so long. After that, we're going to feel hungry. We go for snacks, we go for chocolates, we go for desserts, because we haven't eaten the right quantities of the right amounts of food that will help keep us full in the long run. Just try and switch it up. If you're trying to be a more healthier, switch up. You don't have to change your meals and ingredients in general. Just be smart and just change your meal structure and like how you eat and what you eat. That's literally about it. If you want to be healthy, you should be smart. Like, even if you suppose, and for lunch, if you want to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm the type of person that doesn't have breakfast at all. But if you're the type of person who has all 3 meals, eat breakfast. Breakfast is a must. I don't know why I don't eat breakfast, but actually breakfast is one of the most important meals of the day, especially if you're going to work at 9, you're coming back at 5 p.m. Breakfast is very important. So have a heavy breakfast, have a protein filled breakfast, have boiled eggs, have peanut butter and toast, have a bowl of fruits, have a bowl of cereal, have anything you want, because during the day you will be getting in those steps, you will be walking, so you will lose that calories that you've eaten during breakfast. So have breakfast. Lunch, if you want, have carbs, but obviously the moderate amount of carbs. Don't have too many carbs. Have carbs for lunch, but do not have carbs for dinner. Try and reduce this. My dad is actually he has he's a gastritis patient, and he feels like he cannot have any gluten or carbs at night. So when I came back from university, I actually told my mom to switch it up, where we can have carbs for lunch but not have carbs for dinner. So our dinners would basically be chicken and vegetables, or a soup, or seafood and vegetables, but there would be no carbs. And this actually helped all of us, because when you wake up the next morning, not only do you feel light after dinner, but you will feel light the next morning when you wake up as well. You'll see, because I'm sure all of us wake up the next morning and we do like check ourselves out. We do like look at our body and like see our stomach size and like see how we feel in the morning. And if you don't have carbs the night before, you will feel really good in the morning because you feel less bloated and your stomach will literally be flat if that's what you're looking for in the morning. To try and do that, try and reduce your carbs. If you can't completely stop it, reduce your carbs for dinner and have carbs for lunch and have a really good breakfast. This will really help you in living a more healthy lifestyle and being more consistent with it. Last thing I want to say in this topic is if you like mushrooms, stack up on mushrooms, because mushroom is the lowest amount of calories and it goes literally with anything. I didn't like mushrooms before, but now I love mushrooms and I have it a lot. So it's actually a really good ingredient to invest on if you want to eat healthy and reduce your calories. Yeah. Does anyone have any questions before we move on to the next topic? Okay, so then we can move on. I hope I'm clear, and I hope you guys aren't shy to ask me anything, because this is my first time as well. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to. And also, I'm a culinary graduate. I am not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. I don't have so much knowledge on nutrition. I am just speaking from my personal experiences and my research, which I feel like is more important than theoretical knowledge. So if you feel like your opinions are otherwise and you want to share your opinions with me, please feel free to. Let me just check some chats. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat now. Shalini has said that the red pack of couscous you mentioned has been out of stock in Calgary and Gibbs last month. Yeah, that's actually so true. I went to Cargill's and Keel's last month and it was out of stock. You can check this place on duplication on Havelock Road. It's called Shan's Supermarket, SHANS. I managed to get it from there. Shan Supermarket. I think it's down Havelock Road. That's a good place for it. And I also
yes, sorry.
Yes.
Could you just mention the location again, please? On Havelock Road, whereabout?
Whereabout is it? Oh, it's on Palmankada Lane. Sorry. You know Palmankada Lane?
Yeah.
I can okay, so this is what it's called. If you I'm putting it on the chat right now. If you can Google it for sure. Just put Shan Supermarket.
SHANS, right?
Yeah. I managed to get my couscous from there. Actually, if anything's out of stock from Keel's or Cargill's, I always go to this place and I check out this place. This place pretty much has everything. Even once Keel's and Cargill's was out of cream cheese, and if you're lucky, if you check out Shan's, they'll have it. You can also call them in advance and check up on it. Another thing that I buy from Shan Supermarket is their tortilla and shawarma wraps. Those are actually really good. They're not so low in calorie, but it's a good way if you want to substitute your bread or noodles or rice, then you can switch to these tortilla or shawarma wraps. They're really good. They're only I think 350 rupees for 6 to 8. It's a good thing to have.
Thank you so much. That's
No worries.
great. Thank you.
Gayani has asked me, what are your views on snacking between meals? Yes, of course, please snack. And one of the most important things that you should do in order for you to feel less hungry is drink water. This is my water bottle. Everybody in my house calls it a gallon, but drink at least between 2 to 3 liters of water. Try and get it in before your meals, after your meals, and it might help keep you full. Snacking, have some snacks. Okay, one thing that I wanted to touch on is all us Sri Lankans, we love our teas, right? It's such a coincidence because I don't drink tea or coffee, but my family loves tea or coffee, and I know I'm a Sri Lankan, I'm supposed to like my tea. But I know a lot of people, when they come to me for diet plans, they're like, okay, I'm gonna stop my tea. Like, I cannot have tea, right? It's so bad. But that's not true. have your tea, have 1 cup of tea a day. It's not going to kill you. You know, it takes 7,500 calories for you to actually gain 1 kilo. There's no way we're all going to be eating 7,500 calories a day. So you're not going to gain a kilo the next day for sure. And the maximum we all eat is maybe between 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day. And with, like, where's 2000, where's 7000? That's not possible. If you want to have your tea, have your tea. Like I said, be moderate, don't crash, don't restrict yourself so much to the extent where you crash. Have your tea and have a cup of biscuits if you want. If you're trying to lose weight and sweets is your main issue, don't have try and is you basically compete with yourself. And it's like a competition you're having with yourself, where you're like, okay, let me just test my limits this week and see how long I don't have sweets for, and just try and cut that down. But if you want to have sugar in your tea, put sugar in your tea, but try and like gradually reduce that amount of sugar, so then you slowly get used to having sugarless tea. Or if you want to switch to non-fat, also go ahead. But I personally don't agree on non-fat stuff. If you want to have full cream itself, because I read this article that said where non-fat stuff in the long term is not good for you. It causes some sort of complications. So if you want, have full cream milk, or have any sort of milk that you like. Don't cut it down so much. 1 cup a day is okay. So you can have those snacks, and nuts are a good snack that'll keep you full longer. You can have a couple of biscuits. You can have a couple of wheat biscuits, whole grain biscuits, even normal biscuits also is okay. You can snack in between. It's completely okay. But this is after you have your water intake. Please try and have between 2 to 3 liters of water. It's good. Is cornflakes, Talia asked me, is cornflakes without sugar okay for breakfast for a snack? Yeah, of course. I have never actually had a problem with cornflakes. It's just 1 cup of cornflakes with milk. It's not going to do so much harm to you. Have cereal. I feel like cereal is a really good breakfast. It's a quick breakfast if you are working and you need to rush into work. I feel like cereal is the best breakfast to have. Don't worry too much about the calories. Like I said, if you have it for breakfast, you'll probably be able to lose at least half of those calories between the day. So if you're trying to get your steps in, and if you're just okay with having sugar, I feel like cereal is fine. Just have a little bit of it. It's okay. There's no issue in that. Yeah, those were all the questions. Next, we can go to meal prep. So yeah, like I said, meal prep is something that I was also introduced to with like maybe 2 years ago. I didn't know about it as much, and it actually just saves your life. So meal prep is basically where, if you're a working mom, if you're a working individual in general, and you want to cook your own food, you don't want to eat from out, meal prep is your way to go. It's basically where you cook large quantities of meals and you store it in your fridge or freezer for a certain duration, so that when you come home, you can just pop it on into a plate, or you can just take it out and you can just pop it in the microwave or bake it again and you're done. So some of the meals that I would cook in meal prep is I would cook dal or paripu, if y'all say that, dal or paripu. I would cook huge stacks of it actually when I was in uni, and I would put it in 3 boxes, and I would keep 1 box in the fridge and 2 in the freezer, and when one would finish, I would take out the other one, and like 4. So so dal is a good meal prep item. I would do minced beef. I would put some of it in the freezer again and some of it in the fridge, and as it would finish, I would switch it up. Wraps and sandwiches is a good way of meal prepping. But then what some people do is, when they meal prep a lot, they kind of find it difficult to store the food. So again, like what I said, you have to be smart. You have to try. We also want to try and be efficient. So if you're making sandwiches and wraps, what I do is I get wraps paper or cling wrap or foil, and I wrap it in that and just stack it up in a fridge. I don't put it in boxes, because at the end of the day, I know I won't have space in my fridge. So if you want to stack up on wraps for meal prep, wrap in you get wraps papers, or wrap it in that, or cling wrap or foil, and just stack it on top of each other. Even sandwiches, put it in a cling wrap or put it in a sort of paper, and stack it up and keep it in the fridge. It'll help you have more storage. um, Pizza, you can also meal prep pizza. You can stack it all together, freeze it overnight, and then take it out, wrap it in cling wrap, and put it back into the freezer for however long. Pizzas can be stored for a long time. We actually sell a frozen pizza as well, and we do the same. Our process is where you can either pre-bake it, or you can also just store it and then bake it once and for all. But I think pre-baking is better because it'll last longer. I pre-bake it for around 10 to 15 minutes, and then I pre-bake the base. I pre-bake the base for 10 to 15 minutes. Then I put it in the freeze. I take it out, let it cool down. I top it off with my toppings, sauces, cheese. Pop it into the freezer unwrapped. Pop it into the freezer unwrapped. Let it freeze all together into one structure. Take it out, wrap it in cling wrap, not boxes, because again it'll take so much space. And then you put it back into the freezer for however long you want. It's a good way. Even chicken curry, you can meal prep it and put some of the boxes in the freezer, some of the boxes in the fridge, and you can switch it up as you go. You can also do pre-baked stuff, like how I said pizzas. You can also do a roast chicken where you pre-bake it, pop it into the freezer, and then take it out whenever you want, and just pop it back into the oven, and you're done. um, and also you can, if you want, another way to meal prep is you don't only have to meal prep cooked food. You can also meal prep your vegetables and meat. So one of the ways you can do this is you marinate your chicken, you marinate your seafood. Basically, if you're meal prepping, you have to plan your meals ahead. So make a meal plan where you know that, okay, Monday I'm going to have this, Tuesday I'm going to have this, Wednesday I'm going to have this, and buy the necessary ingredients. And if you don't want, if you are more of a person where you want to eat fresh food, at least marinate the chicken and marinate the veggies, put it into the fridge or freezer, and whenever you want it, take it out, and all you need to do is just cook it. So that's an easy way if you want to meal prep as well. You don't only need to meal prep cooked food, you can meal prep raw food as well, which when you take out, you just need to, it's all done. You don't even need to get messy, you just need to pop it into the oven and add in oil when you're meal prepping and when you're marinating, so that you don't need to use so much oil when you're cooking. Another way that you can meal prep is you make one pot dishes. So that is how if you marinate it, marinate your chicken like that. And baking is also a really good way. You just put it all together and just pop it into the oven. One of the other dishes that I like to make when I'm meal prepping is one pot dishes. It's not only for meal prepping, but it's also a way where you can be more efficient. There's less mess and less equipments needed. You put your chicken, your veggies, your carbs, everything into one pot, and just leave it on at the stove and let it all cook in one ingredient in one dish. For example, biryani. We know that biryani can be made in one pot. Or I'm also gonna show you guys later my YouTube page where I put recipe videos, and one of my videos is a one pot chicken and rice meal. It's very easy to make chicken and rice if you want to make that as one pot. And one of the things I have tried is I've substituted the rice with couscous. I cook it the exact same way, but I've just put couscous instead of rice, and then I let it all cook together, and it works fine as well. You can also meal prep your sauces, your salad sauces. For example, this is one of the recipes that I wanted to give you all as well, a lemon vinaigrette. You just put lemon in, mustard, salt, pepper, and olive oil. You can put olive oil or any oil, it's not that necessary. And sometimes if I want my sauces to be more liquidy, I also add in maybe 1 teaspoon of water in it. Mix it together and store it into the fridge. You can store it for as long as you can. You can make a chili sauce as well. Make any sauces that you would use for your chicken or vegetables and put it into a jar, and you can store it in the fridge for at least a month. I think you can store your sauces in. So you don't only have to, again, you don't only have to meal prep your cooked items. You can meal prep your condiments. You can meal prep your spices also. You can meal prep. An easy way for you to do this is if you are going to make a Sri Lankan dish. I don't know which spices everybody uses, but to me, I would use chili powder, salt, um, cumin, the Jaffna curry powders, everything. So what I would do is I would make a separate spice bowl with all of the spices for Sri Lankan food and keep that aside. So whenever I want to make Sri Lankan food, I would just pick up that one spice bottle that has the mixture of all the spices needed, and I would just pop that in. And so even that's a way of meal prepping. It's where you just be more efficient and you keep everything together so that whenever you need it, it's just all there together. You can just meal prep anything. And another thing, what I do is I put my stuff in Ziploc bags instead of boxes. So if you're marinating your chicken and meat and vegetables, you instead of putting it in boxes that will take up so much space, put it in Ziploc bags or even plastic bags. I hope everybody over here reuses plastic boxes and plastic bags because they actually come really handy whenever you need it. So you can put it in a clean plastic bag or a clean Ziploc bag and just pop it into the fridge so that boxes don't take so much space, and it'll be easier for you to be more organized as well. You can put a little mark on it saying this is for Monday, this is for Tuesday, or this is marinated chili chicken or marinated black pepper chicken. It depends on how you want, how convenient it is for you, how you want to do it. Sorry. Okay, no chats. If anybody wants to ask me anything in particular, or one more thing actually, you can keep food in the fridge for a maximum of 3 to 4 days. You can store it in the freezer for maximum of 4 months, pre-cooked or cooked. But if you're cooking with dairy products like eggs, milk, cream, cheese is actually okay. But if you're cooking with eggs specifically, milk and cream, then you have to be a bit cautious about the duration of how long you keep it in the fridge or freezer for, because it can get spoiled and then your meal will just go for waste. But other than that, you can keep it in the fridge for between 3 to 4 days and freezer for up to 4 months. Yeah. Is there any, there's nothing on the chat right now, so okay, wait a comment. How to prepare salads more tasty. Okay. You can meal prep salad as well, actually, and I am going to come to that I can in my recipes I am going to answer about salads. So Hesika, if you are okay with me answering that question in my next topic, then I'll come back to that for sure. Salads, a lot of people think salads is just so basic and you can do only so much with salad, but no, I feel like you can do so much more with salad, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I've actually, the reason why I'm smiling so much is because I have literally blown my parents' minds away as well by creating new salads for them, new salad sauces, because they only thought that you can only do like limited stuff with salads, but you can do so much more with it, and I'm gonna show you how to do that. And yeah, so this is meal prepping. If you want any recipes, I will be sharing my YouTube page with you all later. So we can, in that there's a 1-pot dish, there's how to make wraps, there's a stir fry recipes as well. All the recipes that I'm going to talk about is in my YouTube video as well. Next, we're going to be talking about efficiency. So in order to meal prep and in order to be healthy, you have to be efficient. So one of the ways on how you can be efficient is by meal planning. Meal planning and making 1-pot meals is the key to efficiency, because you are reducing your mess, you are utilizing your time, and you are getting out of the kitchen fast, because that's what we want. So meal prepping is a very good way on how to be efficient. What we think is, if we buy one ingredient, we feel like, okay, that ingredient is only going to be the use for, like, for example, potatoes. We think that potatoes are more than enough for just fries. We can't do anything else for it. But I know so many recipes for potatoes. You can make French fries, potato wedges, hash brown, mashed potatoes. Those are the basic things that we can do with potatoes. But there's more you can do with it. You can actually make a potato salad. You can make a stuffed potato. A stuffed potato is basically where you take an entire potato, don't peel it, you just pierce a fork through it, make some small holes so that steam goes inside the potato, pop it into the oven for around 45 to 50 minutes, and you take it out, and it becomes like you can just grate it, and you can like peel it into half, and you can add in vegetables and everything with it, so it'll become like a stuffed potato meal. I love that. You can do it with sweet potato, you can do it with normal potato as well. You can incorporate it in your salads. French fries doesn't only have to be eaten as a side, you can also incorporate it in your meals. So if you want something crunchy with your salads, make potato chips and add it into your salad. It'll really level it up. It'll be so much easier. And even your spices. For example, we sell a Mexican fajita spice, and I have used it in so many dishes. I have used it in a 1-pot chicken and rice dish. You can make a 1-pot fajita spice chicken and rice dish. You can use it to marinate your chicken. You can use it as a sauce. You can use it as in your French fries. If you don't want to put chili, or if you don't want to put salt and pepper on your French fries, you can put fajita spice on top of your French fries as well. You can be creative, you can be innovative. Just because they tell you that, oh, okay, you only use your spices for marination, no, change it up, try new things. It'll help make things so much easier. Even eggplants, I have actually used it. I've made an eggplant burger as well. You can make an eggplant, I don't know if I hope people know, Arabian food is one of my favorite things, and there's something called a mutabal. It's basically an eggplant dip, so you can make an eggplant dip out of it. Yes. Gayani, is there something you'd like to say?
No, sorry.
Oh, no worries.
This got called.
Yeah, eggplant I actually made. If you're vegetarian, I tried out this eggplant burger recipe. So instead of chicken, I put an eggplant patty in there, and it turned out to be really good. Even carrot. So one of the things that I have tried with carrot is I have made carrot chips. So you don't only have to make it as like a vegetable where you just eat it raw, or you cook it as like grilled vegetables or something, but you can make carrot chips as well if you want to have like a low carb snack. The same way how you cook potato chips, make carrot chips, and it's actually pretty good. Like, it's alarmingly like pretty good. I didn't expect it to be that good, but I gave it a shot. Like, if it's your kitchen, it's your home, if you want to try something, go ahead and try something. Surprisingly, it will be good if you add in your way, and if you add in some slight twist here and there, it will actually be pretty good. Again, one ingredient many uses. If you buy mayo, you can make a chili mayo out of it. We also sell a chili mayo, but you can make it at home as well. A mayo can be used as a dip. It can be used for your burgers. It can be used for your wraps. It can be used as a salad dressing as well. I use mayo as a salad dressing as well. It's you can make it as a wings sauce. You can coat your chicken with it. You can do a lot with just that one ingredient. Again, another way of being efficient is food storage. You store it in Ziploc bags. You store it in wraps in wrapping paper, sandwiches in cling wraps, and that's a way of being efficient as well. Baking is also a way of being efficient because you pop everything into one dish or one oven tray. You pop it into the oven. You can do whatever you want and then come back to it, and your food will be ready. Just you have to be different meats actually cook at different timings and temperatures in the oven. So seafood cooks quite fast. The chicken takes a bit longer. Beef takes way longer. So be careful with the timings and temperatures, but baking is a really good way on if you want to be efficient in the kitchen. Cauliflower also is a way where you can use it differently. We sell cauliflower rice, and if you purchase cauliflower rice, you can make a cauliflower based pizza, which we've been trying to do as well, and we will probably sell later on. But if you purchase cauliflower rice, you can try that at home as well. You can if you're vegetarian, a cauliflower, the same recipe that you use for wings, you can make that same recipe with cauliflower, and it'll be like, you can make sweet chili fried cauliflower, or you can make black pepper fried cauliflower, deep fried cauliflower. You can also make cauliflower chips. You don't only have to make it as a vegetable and like keep it there. You can also make a cauliflower puree. You can make a cauliflower mash. You can do so much with one ingredient. You just need to be creative. And yeah, those are ways where you can be efficient in the kitchen. And meal planning is also a way to be efficient in the kitchen, because then you know what exactly you need, so you will take out exactly those ingredients, those items, and you will just prepare those. Efficiency is really important in the kitchen. I love to be efficient. I always find new ways on how to be how to leave my kitchen faster, basically, because I just don't want to be there. And I actually take orders, and I do meal plans for people as well. So, and I have a lot of customers, so I have to prepare a lot of meals. So what I do is, in my university, actually, one thing that we every chef or every student needs to do is, there's something called maison plus. It's basically where you start off in the kitchen by getting all of your ingredients and chopping up all of your ingredients, so when it comes to the time to cook, you're just putting everything into pans and putting everything into dishes. You're not chopping and putting it directly, or going around to hunt for an ingredient. No, you have your meal plan. So in that meal plan, you know exactly what ingredient you're going to use, how you're going to cook it, what's your cooking technique. So you prepare for it. You take out all of your ingredients. You do the maison plus. Maison plus is where you chop it up however you like, cut it in diced, in slices, anything. Cut it, keep it organized in front of you, and then when it's time to cook, you just throw everything into the pan, and you're done with it. Then you're done. You cook, you've cleaned, you know exactly what ingredients you've used and you are going to use, so you haven't been messy. You've been clean along the way as well, and once you're done with cooking, you've used up everything. It's just a matter of cleaning. When another way of being efficient is, if you're making, suppose, a one pot dish, all your ingredients are already in the dish and you're cooking, so you don't want to there's no point of you just sitting and standing there, right? If you don't have any help, or if you're in a rush while the food is cooking in, and you don't just sit there and or stand there and watch it cook, clean up. So then by the time the food is done cooking, you're done with your cleaning, and it's just a matter of eating your food. You don't need to clean up after and wait to eat the food. The food will get cold and it will just be a mess. So whilst your food is cooking, if you can do the cleaning part, that'll save you so much time, and that is a way of being efficient as well. Yeah, that was about efficiency and meal planning. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask me. I'm assuming that I'm touching on everything if nobody has anything to ask, but if you're shy, then you can also send it through the chat. And every day actually in the kitchen, I do try and find different ways on how to be efficient, because it'll really help you, especially if you're working from 9 to 5 and you want to just do everything fast and have an on-the-go meal, then being efficient in meal planning is actually the best way to do. Like I said, all the topics are interconnected, so meal planning is a way of being efficient, and being efficient is also really important to be healthy as well. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing some of my tips and recipes with you guys, so just help it be make things easier for y'all. So one of the things that I do is, I don't cut chilies on the chopping board. If this is my dish, I just take my chilies and I take a scissor and I just cut my chilies, and it goes directly into the pan. In that way, because sometimes my hands burn with the chilies after cutting chilies or capsicums. So I just take it on top of the pan, and I just cut it with scissors, and then it's done. don't throw away your leftovers. For example, if you've made a full Sri Lankan spread and you have beans, you have potatoes, you have leftover chicken curries, you have some greens, don't throw them away, or don't think that you can only eat them all with rice again, or you can only eat them all with the wrap again. That's not true. There is a dish called a stir fry. A stir fry is basically known for all of your leftovers. It's where you just pop everything into a pan, add in any sauces that you like, any meat that you like. It can be meatless as well. I have made vegetarian stir fries, and you're done. You just put everything in that, whip it all together, put it in a sauce, and it's done. You've served it. Any ingredient at all, you just mix it all together, and it actually really works. If you want to add in some crunch to that, you can add in some peanuts, you can add in some French fries again, and you can also add in carbs. Leftover rice also, you can put it in, and it'll become like a rice stir fry. Or there's a recipe on my YouTube channel where I've made a noodle stir fry. I basically emptied my kitchen fridge with like leftover carrots, beans, chicken, chilies, garlic, whatever I wanted, and I just put it all together into the pan, and I made a really good stir fry. So stir fry is one of the recipes that I wanted to share. Just put in all of your leftovers together, any meat. Even if you don't have meat, it's okay. You can put leftover couscous as well, and you'll have a great meal over there. Another one of my recipes that I want to share is, if you're vegan, if you're vegetarian and you don't want to have mayo, you don't want to have a tara sauce or a garlic dip, then one of my recipes I would like to share is a yogurt sauce dip. So if you can get a Greek yogurt, but if you want to have the normal yogurt also, that's okay. It'll just might be a bit sweeter, but you can always reduce that. Take yogurt, add in garlic, add in salt, pepper. If you want, add in some cilantro. If you want, you can add in some ginger, however you like it. Mix it all together, and you'll have an easy garlic white sauce. It's healthier as well, and you can have it with your chips. You can have it. This is also a really good sauce for salads. If you want to make a yogurt salad, this is another way where I make my salads better. I add in this yogurt sauce. If you want a specific recipe, I can give you a specific recipe later, but this is just me just giving you my ideas. Just yogurt, salt, pepper, garlic, and mix that all up. I also add in some cilantro to it, or kotamali, and mix it all together. You can and put it into your salads. I got a chat. Curd is a good substitute. Yes, curd is a good substitute for Greek yogurt. If you don't have yogurt, you can use curd as well. I'm just so used to yogurt because when I was in Malaysia, yogurt was more easily available than curd. But yes, I use curd as well. If you don't have Greek yogurt, and if there is no Greek yogurt, go straight away to curd. Don't have the normal yogurt because curd is not sweet as well. So yeah, that can be a good salad dressing. Another salad dressing is I actually just randomly tried it out. It's a sauce that I make for my wings. Actually, I make this chili garlic sauce. I'm sure all of you all have like a chili garlic sauce, or when we go to a store, we get a sweet chili sauce. You can add that into your salads. Actually, it goes really well with your salad. Or if I make a chili garlic chicken, I actually add that straight away into my salad. So what we do is we sometimes have a chili garlic chicken separately and vegetables separately. But if what I do is I make a chili garlic sauce and I mix it in with my salad itself. So it'll be like a chili garlic salad. So that's a way to up your salad game. And another thing is chili mayo. You can put in chili mayo into your salad. A lemon vinaigrette. It's lemon, mustard, salt, pepper, and I add in some oil. Any oil, it doesn't have to be olive oil. And I also add in a dash of water to it. So when you mix it all together and add it into your salad, it'll be really saucy and good. I also tried black pepper sauce salad. So if you're making a black pepper chicken and you want to add that in, or you want to try something new with your salad, make just that sauce and add it into your salad. You can add in a barbecue sauce that you get in Kiehl's or Cargill's. You can add in that sauce into your salads, and that'll also level it up. And also another thing that I do with my salad is I actually play around with my ingredients. So I know all of us just think salad is just the normal basic ingredients, you can't add in anything else. No, not at all. I have made a couscous salad. So the same recipe that you have for salad, even in this yogurt dressing that I just mentioned before, I have added that into a salad, and I've also added in couscous into a salad. So you can have a couscous salad. However, it won't be good the next day. If you're making a couscous salad, eat it on that day itself, finish it off on that day itself, because the next day it wasn't that great. It got a bit like puss. So you can add in couscous, you can add in potato chips in your salad, like I said. So what I do is recently I've been making my salads with cucumber. Well, you can try this out actually. I put cucumber, green bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, any cabbage or lettuce. I either put cabbage or lettuce, or very rarely I put cabbage and lettuce into it. And I put potatoes, like potato chips, and I put potato chips and peanuts. I also add in salted peanuts into my salad, and I feel like that really makes things better, adding my salted peanuts. Just any peanuts, you can even buy peanuts from the store and you can just add it into your salad. It'll really level it up. You can also add in breadcrumbs. You can add in Pan sells these oat chips and breadsticks. So I crush them all up, or I make it cut into small pieces, and I put them into my salad to give it a crunch. And actually, if you're making your salad, make your salad, add in any chili garlic sauce that you either buy from the store or you make, and add in a crunch factor like peanuts or even the Pan's oats chips, and mix it together. And that combination is really good. I really enjoyed that combination. So I really played around with my salads. I don't just use normal ingredients. I add in corn. You can add in corn into your salads. I add in chickpeas, roasted chickpeas. If you have an air fryer, take chickpeas, mix it with some oil, salt, and chili powder. If you want, you can add in chili flakes as well, and roast that in the air fryer for about 20 to 30 minutes, or until it's entirely cooked and roasted, and add that into your salad. Or you can also have that as a snack. Roasted chickpeas is a really good snack for you to have. So try that out if you can. Add in any sort of crunch factor that you'd like into your salad. Change it up, add in any ingredients. Add in prawns into your salad. Add in mushrooms into your salad. If you're making a chili garlic chicken, instead of having it on the side, mix it with your salad, and you will start to love salads like that. So that's one of the things I have been trying recently, and even my family really enjoys it. Another recipe that I want to share with y'all is my spinach wraps. One second, I'm so sorry. My laptop is dying. I'm just gonna put it for charge. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, sorry about that. So if you're gluten-free, you're trying to be low carb, this wrap is actually a really good recipe. I actually wanted to try and sell this, but it's a bit difficult to make, so I feel like I'd rather share the recipe of this. Take a handful of spinach, 2 eggs, and a blender. Put that in, put in your spinach, handful of spinach, 2 eggs, salt, pepper, blend that up together. It'll become like a liquid mixture. That is your wraps batter. Make wraps out of that. Get a non-stick pan, make sure it's non-stick, or it'll stick onto the pan. Or if you don't have a non-stick pan, then coat the pan properly with oil, and then add in the liquid, this spinach liquid into it, and it'll become a wrap. And I tried it for my sister when she was on keto once, and it was really good. She loved it because in Sri Lanka, you don't really get a keto-friendly wrap or not even a low-carb wrap as so. So I made these wraps at home and it was really easy. I can give you a specific recipe if you want later on, or I can send you the video where I saw this recipe. I can send that to you as well, and it was actually really easy. It's also really filling. That's just your wrap, so you can make a wrap out of it, you can make a quesadilla out of it, and you get your protein in and nutrients as well from spinach and eggs. So that's another recipe that I would like to share. Air fryer recipes, I also thought I would share one of my air fryer recipes with you all. I gotta check. Please send the wrap recipe. Yeah, sure, I will send you the wrap recipe. I will type it at the end of the presentation when I'm taking questions from anybody. I will type it on. Another recipe, air fryer. I feel like all of us use air fryers. So a recipe that I would like to share is I make wings a lot, air fryer wings and air fryer drumlets. What you do is marinate your wings or drumlets with a little bit of oil, salt, chili powder, and chili flakes. If you want, you can add in your pepper as well. I know most of my recipes include chili and spices. It's because I come from a family that loves spice, but you can tone it down and you can just add in salt and pepper as well, and a little bit of oil. Mix that together and pop it in the air fryer for at 160 degrees for 15 minutes, and then at 200, which is the max. 160 for I think we all have different air fryers, so 160 for me is the one before the last highest temperature. That my highest temperature is 200 and my second highest temperature is 160. So pop it at your second highest temperature for 15 minutes, and then pop it at your highest temperature for 5 minutes. At 15 minutes, you take it out, flip it over and make sure it's not stuck together, and then close it and put it at your highest temperature for 5 minutes. And then once you take it out, it'll actually be pretty crispy, and it'll be like roasted wings. And then you can just pop it into a pan and mix it in with your sauces as well. That's an air fry recipe that my parents have been loving. Even potato chips, what I do is I when I'm putting it in the air fryer, because I'm not boiling it before, I actually cut my chips really thinly, or I cut it into small cubes. This is speaking for my salads. This is how I do it for my salads. I cube them up really small, really like small for my salads, and I marinate it with some oil. Sometimes I don't even add oil, but if you want, you can add in a little bit of oil, salt and pepper, and put it in the air fryer again for 50. It actually depends. You can either put it for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I like it to be extremely roasted, so I put it on at the highest for 15 minutes, or again you put it at your second highest for 10 minutes, and then your highest at 15 minutes. So what I do is I think it's like when you look at all of my recipes, I cook it at 2 different temperatures. So if it's supposed to be cooked at for 20 minutes, I will cook it at a lower temperature for 15 minutes and then crank up the heat for the last 5 minutes, so it'll properly get roasted and it'll be crispy. Olive oil or coconut oil? Oh, I actually forgot to answer this. Forgot to bring this up. But one of the questions that I had was which oil is the best. Extra virgin olive oil is the best, but you can have any amount of oil. You can use any oil. That doesn't matter which oil you're using. I actually barely use olive oil because, first of all, it's very expensive. Oil in this country itself is very expensive. And since I use a little of my oil, I don't focus on which oil I use. So if you have olive oil and you want to use olive oil, go ahead, use olive oil. But if you want to use coconut oil also, that's completely fine. You can use a neutral oil. You can use a vegetable oil. You can use coconut oil, corn oil, anything is okay. I'm not so picky about my oil. Whichever is available to you, go ahead and use that. And also, if you want to swap your oil with something, ghee is actually the the best substitute for oil. Ghee, it's GHEE. It's basically made from, it's clarified butter from cows, or specifically from cow. So if I want to make a quick fried egg, I actually use ghee rather than oil, because it's just clarified butter, and it's actually better for you. So if you want to choose between oil and something else, then you should go forward with ghee. But if you want to choose between your oils, I would say any oil is okay. It just depends on the quantity of oil you're using. And start from the lowest quantity. Maybe use 1 teaspoon at a time and see if it's necessary or not. So you can go with any oil, Gayani. That's up to you and your preference. I don't have any specific oil. I actually change up my oils quite often. And those are the tips and tricks that I wanted to share, and my recipes. I will give the specific recipes later on for sure. I will even maybe email it to you all or send it to you all, depending. I know this is those are the topics that I wanted to discuss, but I actually wanted to bring up another topic, which is how to help kids enjoy their meals. I don't know if anybody over here has any small kids, and if you actually do have any small kids, it would be nice if you could just tell me how is it easy to feed your kids, or is it difficult, or how do you do it? If anybody would like to share something, that would be great. But if not, I actually wanted to bring up something where if you have any kids, or if you plan to have kids in the future, or if you have any younger siblings that don't like to eat their vegetables and nutrients, then this is a topic that I just want to talk about. Kids don't like to have vegetables because we portray the vegetables to them differently. We're like, no, you can cheat and you can have chocolates. It's not good for you, but you can have it. But and they would want to have the thing that's not good for them, because we're promoting it in a way where we're like, no, there's too much sugar, and like you get sugar rush and everything, so don't go to chocolates, but go to vegetables. But we should actually, on the other hand, we should actually make them want to eat the vegetables more than chocolates. And the reason why they're unable to do this is because of the way we're actually presenting their food to them. So if you see on the top right, there are skewers, or like those long toothpicks with fruits on it. So what we see is, when we go to a satay stand, or when we go for kebabs and stuff, our meat is on a skewer, right? But who says only meat needs to be on skewers or toothpicks? You can put fruits in as well. You need to present your food differently to your children in order for them to like it. Make on the bottom left, there's a peanut butter toast with different faces and fruits and a cereal on it as well. We don't only have to make kids have cereal with milk. They can have it plain, and they can also top it off with something else, because kids actually love the crunch factor of food. They love it, and once they eat something once, they're gonna want it again. So why not present it to them for their first time in the best way we can, so that they'll want to come back for it. On the weekends, maybe have like a presentation or like a table filled with different fruits, and let them prepare their own sandwiches, let them prepare their own meals, maybe for breakfast or for lunch, depending on whatever is convenient for you, and make them enjoy the process of having their meal and not just eating it. Make them also, let them have fun with their food. And on the bottom right, there is hummus, black beans. So there's no reason as to why we only need to make children have their foods just as how it looks in the raw ingredient itself, like broccoli stem, and it's just like a small flower, right? Or like a leaf. It's on a stem, right? It's not necessary that we have to just feed broccoli to them the way it looks, but instead we can actually make a broccoli puree, or we can make a broccoli mash, or even cauliflower for that instance. You can, like how I said before, you can switch up your cauliflower, and you can make it the same way that you make wings, where you fried, or you pop it in the air fryer, and then you mix it up with a sweet chili sauce or a lemon pepper sauce, depending on how you make your wings, a chili garlic, cauliflower, and they will actually eat the cauliflower because it tastes better for them. Hummus is actually a really good way, and it's one of my most favorite dips that I like to make. And you can make a pink hummus, you can make a green hummus. Basically, pink hummus is if your kids don't like to have beetroot, mix up beetroot and hummus. I don't know if everybody knows this, but it's very easy to make hummus. You just blend in some chickpeas. If you have tahini, you can use tahini, but I've also made hummus without tahini and it has been the same. Add in chickpeas, tahini. I'm sure you can find, I actually bought my tahini from abroad, but I've seen it at Bima's, which is at next to Liberty Plaza, and I'm sure you can find it at Glowmark and maybe at the new Keels as well. I haven't checked it out, but they seem to have like a lot of outsourced products as well. So you can get tahini from there. Tahini is one of the main ingredients for hummus, but like I said, you can make it without it as well. So chickpeas. Hummus is made out of chickpeas. Chickpeas is so nutritious for kids. It's actually very high in protein as well. So if you want your kids to have that, you can blend it up, make a hummus. Add in beetroot if you want to make it a beetroot hummus. You can add in spinach into that or avocado into that if you want for it to be a green hummus. Like, you can play around with the colors here and there so they can be surprised with it as well. Guacamole is a really good way for your kids to get avocado, and avocado is actually really high in fiber. So if you want your kids to have avocados and they don't like to have it normally, you can give it to them as a guacamole. You can just mash up avocado. You can either just mash up avocado and season it with salt, pepper, and lime and give it to them, or you can make it an avocado with a salsa that is avocado, tomato, onions, cilantro, lemon, salt, pepper. Mix it all together. It'll be like a guacamole salsa kind of thing as well. So change it up for your kids. Let them have fun with their food. And also another way where you can make them have their vegetables and fruits is by making a smoothie for them. A smoothie is where you just blend everything together, add in a little bit of milk, or you don't even have to make milk. You can make smoothie bowls. You can have just normal smoothies as a drink if it's more liquidy, and you can give that to your kids. You can add in strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, bananas, avocados, spinach. You can add in so much for smoothies, and they'll just know it's a milkshake. It is a milkshake after all. They can have their milk. You can even add in almonds as well to give them that crunch. Add in a little bit of ice cream to that also if you want. I don't know how much that plays up, but I think I would use yogurt. So smoothie is basically a healthier version of milkshakes. Tell your kids it's a milkshake, give it to them. They will love to drink it because it's going to be cold and they want those cold things. They're going to be so fascinated by it. I feel like smoothies is also a great way if you want to feed your kids their vegetables and their daily fruits. Even your kids also make sure they stay hydrated because water is actually really important for your body. And yeah, I am actually, if you have any kids, we are actually planning on having a cooking day for kids maybe sometime next month when the situation is also a bit better. I'm planning on having maybe a pizza cooking day, or just get the help to get the chef's side out of their kids, because kids love to do all of this. So please stay tuned for that. Maybe it'll happen sometime next month, hopefully. And yeah, I think that's it I had to say. Any questions? So everyone who has come here today, I would then we are giving a discount code. It's WebJ5. If you want to purchase an order with us, then you will get a 5% discount on your next order with us. If anybody has any questions, and also I want to show you guys the YouTube page. So this is my YouTube channel. I also have a page called Hungry Island on Instagram where all of these videos are on there as well. But here, if you see these two, they're smoothie bowls. I made a smoothie bowl series. but I didn't get to put much on it. This is the 1-pot chicken fajita rice that I was talking about, a 1-pot rice. That's easy. And a couscous recipe if you would like. It's you know how you make fried rice? You can also make that with couscous. So it's the same. Basically, couscous is an alternate for rice. Yeah. So everything that you make with rice, you can make it with couscous, or you can make it with cauliflower rice, or you can make it with quinoa. So these are a healthier version of how to make your meals. This healthy yogurt wraps has a yogurt sauce that I was talking about. It has a different version of a yogurt sauce if you'd like to check it out. If you're vegetarian, I tried out this vegan chickpea curry that you can try. And if you see my chicken curry videos and my other videos, you would see that one of the main things that I did is, I don't know if I actually showed it in the video, but since we're Sri Lankan, we use a lot of coconut milk in our food. Even in Malaysia, we use a lot of coconut milk. What I did is, coconut milk is very fattening, and I know a lot of people don't even have coconut milk because or Sri Lankan food because of the fat content it has. So you don't stop the coconut milk, but you can switch it up, and you can use coconut powder. Take a teaspoon or a tablespoon of coconut powder, mix it in water, and you will have a healthier version of coconut milk. You'll have all the flavor from the coconut milk, but just with lower calories. And yes, it might not make your food as thick because coconut milk also thickens up the curries and the sauces. But you can always add in a corn flour slurry, that's flour and water, and you can thicken it up. You don't need to add in cream to thicken things up. So another good substitute for coconut milk would be coconut powder. Mix it in water and add it into your curries. Chats, do you have YouTube? Yes, this is my YouTube page. You can check it out. It's called Sajida Shabir. I don't have many subscribers, but feel free to check out all my videos. I have healthy, not healthy, it all depends. And I've also got a page on Instagram. It's called Hungry Islanders Kitchen. This is our restaurant page. It's called Hungry Islanders Kitchen. We sell cauliflower rice and fajita spice, and you can check it out. And another page where I started everything from was Hungry Islander. So this is my page where I post all of my videos and recipes. If you go to IGTV, these are all my recipe videos. I've got the 1-pot. So I made, remember the fajita 1-pot fajita chicken and rice? I actually tried out with couscous. So there's a video showing that. And there's smoothie bowls. These are actually smoothie bowls that I've been making. But if you want to change it up and make it into a smoothie drink, just add in more milk rather than yogurt, so you will be able, it'll be more liquidy and you can drink it rather than eat it off a bowl. Yeah, I'm just gonna type it on the chat. YouTube is Sajida Shabir and Instagram yeah, that's all. And yeah, now I think we can just if anybody has any questions, we can like interact a bit. We can talk about anything if anyone has any questions. If you guys want any recipes, let me send the spinach recipe, the spinach wrap recipe. I don't have a specific recipe, but this is what I did. A handful of spinach. That is it. That's a spinach recipe. For yogurt, I couldn't be able to see your chat. Sorry, Hasika. Yeah, let me just send it to you again. Oh, are you guys unable to see my chat? Let me see.
Yeah, we can't see your chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it actually just went as a direct message. Let me just. Sorry about that. Yeah, here. That's my YouTube page and the Instagram page, and this is the spinach wrap. I'm assuming. Let me just see the Shan's supermarket. Yeah, here. I think even that got sent to someone particular. This is the Shan's supermarket on Pamankada. And yeah, does anybody else, do we have any questions? Yeah, sorry, it's actually 5:35. I didn't expect for it to go this long. Let me just check. Yeah, if everyone's if there's no questions, and I hope I've answered all of your questions, and please feel free to even send me a message after the webinar if you want anything in particular that I spoke about. If you want to discuss something with me, then please do go ahead and send me anything that you'd like to talk to me about. This is our restaurant page. It's called Hungry Islanders Kitchen. It's just a startup, and we actually do meal plans, and we will be having more workshops, and we sell cauliflower rice, vegetarian chili paste, a chili mayo, a fajita spice. So we actually do a range of keto and healthy products. We will be expanding our menu to a non-healthy side soon, but I actually wanted to target the niche market of keto. So cauliflower rice is actually gluten-free and is keto-friendly. If anybody's interested in that, you're more than welcome to place your order. Do not forget that there is a promotion, there is a discount code if you want to order anything from us. Please, when you send us a DM, just put the code WebJ5, and you'll get a 5% discount on your next order. Sorry about my health. Like I said, I've been kind of sick recently, so that's why it's a bit difficult. Sorry for the disturbances. And yeah, thank you for attending our first ever culinary webinar. It was so good to talk to everybody and meet everybody. Thank you, Mokshini. I hope anybody else who's sick also gets well soon. And stay in touch if you need anything for the future. And yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you for attending. Bye. You guys can leave if you want. Thank you.
Thanks, Hajda. Thanks so much. Hope to
Thank
see
you,
better
Mokshini.
soon.
Bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Yeah.